Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everybody's doing well today. Today is a great day to be alive, ladies and gentlemen. It is February 24th. Today is Saturday, and it is 10 a.m. And I am your host, Mr. Derek Forston, and I appreciate each and every one of y'all. And thank y'all so much for being part of the live podcast. Don't Wait to Be Great, hosted right here on our YouTube channel. So if you guys are on any of our other forums where you can only hear us, we encourage you all to come over to YouTube. We got a lot going on. We have a lot going on this week. I'm looking forward to teaching a lot of people how to house the homeless and the displaced, and without the need to own a property. So guys, today's topic is making reliable income by referring adults to independent living facilities. And this is the HRA model. So whether you're an independent living facility provider or whether you're solely an HRA, today is a great day for you to learn how to take people from homeless to hopeful. And as I said, man, we got a lot going on in terms of here in Orlando, Florida, where we're at. We're in the middle of a rehab project. So I hope you guys are being nosy. Good morning, Miss Tiffany. I hope you guys are following our YouTube and Instagram and Facebook channels, because that's where a lot of this stuff is going to, right? YouTube will probably get it a little bit later, but I definitely want you guys to be nosy and check us out over at Derek Forston at Facebook and Derek Forston at TikTok. So that's where a lot of the live footage is going first, actually, in terms of the rehab. So again, just super excited about everything that's going on, meeting new case managers, meeting new social workers. And again, a lot of you all are tapping into the coaching. So I want to say thank you to everybody that's entrusting us to learn this model, which is called the independent living facility model, right? You guys know each and every Saturday we talk about the ILF model, but we talk about it in terms of how to start your own housing program, in terms of a housing referral agency. A lot of you all that are tuning into us, you may not be able to go out and buy a property tomorrow. You may not be able to just go out and rent a property tomorrow. But through this thing, man, that we're doing called rental arbitrage, man, you guys are able to literally get into this ministry, man, and you don't have to buy a property, you don't have to rent one, but you can literally just use your cell phone, an internet connection, and if you got a computer, great. And then the biggest part about it is the relationship aspect of it. So again, the housing referral agency model, guys, it's all about relationship. Again, you do not need the property to house displaced adults. And if you do mix in that virtual assistant, guys, which I truly believe is the cheat code to it all, that's where you're really winning at. So we're showing people how to house the homeless and the displaced without needing property. Notice I said that about 5 times back to back in a different way, because again, every Saturday, people come in this room and they dream of doing what we do. But again, you can't buy a property, you can't rent one, and you can't lease one. Every Saturday, I'm going to show you guys how to use a virtual assistant to where you all are still able to house the homeless, make an impact in your community, but also make an income, right? So good morning, Miss Rita. Good morning, Miss Katara. Good to see you all here. Good morning, Tiffany. And again, good morning to all my Instagram people that are also chiming in. Again, my name is Derek Forston. I'm the proud founder and thought leader of Forston Consultants. That's why my family and I, man, we go all over the world showing people what this model is in terms of housing the homeless and the displaced, whether you have a property or not. And this does not require a license. So if you've ever heard of that whole group home model, most of you all know, man, you got to have a license to get into that, right? To start your own ALF, you have to have a license to get into that. But guys, this independent living facility model that we talk about all the time, it doesn't require a license, and you do not have to own the property, right? And literally, you can get started tomorrow. Now, today, we're going to talk about how you start this as a business and you get it up and running. But man, you guys can literally be a HRA literally starting tomorrow in terms of what this is and how to operate it. So again, welcome everybody. I love questions. So if you guys have any questions while I'm breaking this down, my Instagram folks, I got my Instagram screen up, and I also got my YouTube screen up. So if you guys have questions while I'm talking about this, let me know. Also, we got a free gift for anybody that's new to us. So if you're completely new to us, all you have to do is type the word new to this phone number that I'm getting ready to give you all, and my team is going to send you a free gift. Because again, I want to make sure that we honor the new people and always thank the older people that are always coming here. So type the word new to 407-326-0086. And again, just type the word new, no other words. Again, that's 407-326-0086. Type the word new, and we got a free gift for you. Also, you can use that text message throughout this entire presentation. If you guys have private questions that maybe you don't want to go on this screen, let me know. But again, I'm getting ready to get started, because if you've ever had the dream of housing the homeless and the displaced, and you thought you needed a license, not true. You thought you had to own the property, not true. We've even created a way for you all to do this as a housing referral agency. So it's almost like you become a liaison, right? You become the middleman to all of this. So I often make that funny example of that game Monkey in the Middle. Imagine the game Monkey in the Middle and you're in the middle. That's the person that's going to be the housing referral agency, and the person that's on your left, that's usually the person that needs the housing. That's the military veteran, the elderly adult, the teenager agent from the foster care system. But on the other side of you is going to be that social worker or that case manager that's calling your phone every day looking for this housing. And you are going to play kind of like the broker or the liaison. There's a lot of different words that I'm using with this, but it's almost like a real estate broker. You're being a homeless broker. How do you like that, Tiffany? Miss Rita, what do you think of that term, right? Being a broker between somebody that needs housing. So again, guys, being a housing referral agency, that simply means that you're going to act on behalf of somebody else that needs housing. That's very simple. This isn't rocket science, right? You're going to be known as the go-to person. Remember, you're the liaison. You're the person that's taking the phone calls. And we tell you guys all the time that where you're going to advertise this through social media and through word of mouth. And a lot of people are doing this even before they're doing the first original steps, which I teach everybody, right? Start a business, become an LLC. And we'll get to that, but I want to remove your first and your last name. So if your first name is Fred, your last name is Jones, I want to remove Fred Jones from this whole scenario, and I want to create FJ Solutions. See, I just took F from Fred, J from Jones, just made that up really quick. So FJ Solutions, FJ Enterprise, right? FJ Consulting, because we're consulting on housing. Does that make sense, everybody? I want to make sure that people are following me so far. Again, if you're new to us right now, I'm breaking down how do you house the homeless and the displaced, or anybody that has a guaranteed income. That's the other part to this that I haven't said yet. Everybody that we're housing, ladies and gentlemen, as much as it breaks my heart to turn somebody down for housing because they don't get a monthly income, guys, my program is not built as a shelter, right? So we need people to have income, Miss Rita. Kentucky Chick, if we don't have people paying the income, how can we continue this business? That's why, as the housing referral agency, this is genius, because you don't need the property. You're not collecting rent. You're just connecting the person with the need who needs the housing. And you're going to call somebody like Tiffany that already has the house. So if you want to be a housing referral agency, I'll give a quick example of it. Hey, what's going on, Big Cash? Tiffany lives in Oklahoma, right? Oklahoma City. She's got several ILFs. I'd assume, unless Tiffany tell me different, she's got some beds available. You could have just met me just now in this Instagram room or on YouTube and heard me telling you this message of how you can refer into Tiffany's program. You don't even know Tiffany. But if you listen to how I teach this today and how you can do the research in Oklahoma and find the social workers and the case managers that are looking for the housing, once they call your phone, you're going to say, Tiffany, great morning. How are you doing, sister? Tiffany going to say, great. You're going to say, man, I was listening to Derek on Saturday and I did exactly what he told me to do. And Tiffany, some social worker called me and she got 4 clients that she called me with today that need housing. And Tiffany, I don't have a house. But Derek told me I could partner with you, Tiffany, as an HRA, as a housing referral agency. And Tiffany, Derek said that if I refer to you, Tiffany, you going to pay me. Now, it's also up between Tiffany what you get paid, because there's an agreement as a housing referral agency as into what you're going to make. It's very simple. And that's why I also love that whole housing referral agency program that we have, right? The HRA Business in the Box, because we give you the contracts, we give you the phone scripts, we give you the email scripts, so that you even know kind of what to say to the social worker, what to say to the case manager, how to set up the appointments to kind of even to talk about what you're offering. Somebody texted in that Telegram group earlier this morning. I think it was Miss Tanya. I hope she's in here today. I want to answer that. right? Don't forget, guys, if you purchase the HRA or the IMB, every Saturday is kind of like your group coaching to learn how do you implement the HRA. Because a lot of you all that purchased the ILF Mastery Blueprint here lately, you don't have a house yet. Now, 5 years ago, you had to wait until you had a house to make this work. But for the past probably 12 to 14 months, you don't need a house now. You can start today until you get the property utilizing the Housing Referral Agency model. Does that make sense, everybody? I just want to make sure that everybody understands that you have an opportunity to house people right now. Tiffany has beds available, and she put yes in the chat. Why wouldn't you do your research in Oklahoma the way that we teach you how to do it? Find the social workers that are begging for what Tiffany has, and now you become a liaison. You become the broker. Remember those terms? You become the monkey in the middle game. You say, oh, I caught the ball. You're the monkey in the middle, but now you got to call somebody that has the relationship, that has the property. And if it's a good fit for Tiffany, I guarantee you, Tiffany, Dornico, Katara, Miss Rita, none of them have a problem paying you a referral fee. In fact, I'll ask it. Dornico, do you mind paying referral fees to anybody that finds a great client for your program in Dayton, Ohio? Answer that yes or no and put the name of your program in the chat. Tiffany, put yes or no in the chat. In Oklahoma City, would you mind taking a great military veteran, 78 years old, that's looking for a clean, affordable place to live? Miss Rita, you and Ken just started y'all program. Miss Rita, would you mind a nice 68-year-old lady that's homeless on the street that need a nice place to live, and you wouldn't mind paying a referral fee for that? Because I want people to hear and see how easy this is now today to house people. Whereas when I first taught this 7 years ago, you had to have a house to make this work. But now today, thank God for the Housing Referral Agency, because it removes every excuse that, Derek, I can't rent a house. Derek, I can't lease one. Derek, I can't do that rental arbitrage thing. And Derek, I surely can't buy a house. If God put on your heart that you should be housing people, and you have a cell phone and an internet connection, and if you're not afraid to build relationships and talk to people, this is genius. This is who it's for. And guys, I know I talk real fast sometimes, so I'm going to try to slow it down, guys. Miss Connor, this is genius. If you have a property and you always had in your mind that you wanted to do good by people, you wanted to be in real estate, and you also wouldn't mind doing God's will at the same time. I often tell people, man, this is so genius in terms of if you ever want to do God's will, help people, but also make enough money to feed your family, this is it. Whether it's the HRA model or the ILF Mastery Blueprint, where you're actually housing them yourself. I'm also going to tip into the ILF Mastery Blueprint today and the ILF model. But every Saturday, my goal is to talk to people who want to do this, but they don't have a property. They can't rent one and they can't buy one. This is who Saturdays are always for. But if you guys have questions about even the ILF, you being as an operator, no problem. We mix it all together. But just really simple. What is a housing referral agency? Someone that acts on the behalf of somebody else who needs housing. Guys, that's what my virtual assistant does for me every day, all day. Right here is Jess. Jess is my program manager, guys, at Second Chance Housing. God has blessed me so much today, guys, where I'm too busy to answer my own telephone now. I'm too busy to do my own assessments. I'm too busy to do the social media. So Jess is the HRA for me. Does that make sense, everybody? Jess is a housing referral agency. The only difference is that we actually do have property. But what happens when we get a phone call for that 23-year-old male that's still trying to figure out life, and he's kind of not going to be a good fit for my 7-year-old guys? Jess is going to refer him somewhere else to where we still can make an impact and make income. And most people charge anywhere between $100 to $300. Some people charge the whole first month's rent for your referral fee. That's kind of up to you. We teach you in that HRA business in the box in the course, according to your area and where you live at, what you should charge. I'll just be honest to give you an example. I charge $300 per referral. That means that when we get a phone call that goes to Jess, because she's who answers my phone at Second Chance Housing, if they're a great fit, Jess is going to say, Derek, I think we should keep this guy. But if it's somebody that's quite not fit the criteria, He wants a private room, and I don't have a private room available. Maybe Jess is going to refer him to somebody else who has property that don't mind housing people, just like we do. When that person moves in and pays rent to that respected landlord, we just made a $300 fee. But even more importantly, we took somebody from homeless to hopeful. That's the gem to all of this, guys. Even though we're talking about real estate, my Instagram family, my Clubhouse people, my folks on YouTube, guys, don't get this twisted. This is a ministry. Whether you thought you was a pastor or a priest or a bishop or not, whether you thought you was or your family told you was going to be, you're in ministry. So congratulations to you. I'm somebody that grew up in my family told me that boy going to be a preacher. Derek going to grow up, y'all, he going to be a preacher. That boy going to preach the word of God. Guys, I am no preacher. I'm no bishop and I'm no pastor. But guess what? I love God. God crazy about me. We love people, most importantly, and we love real estate. God is just genius enough, Cash, to where he allowed us to combine it together. So if you're new to us, all this is combining social services and real estate together. And over the last probably 12 to 14 months, we've gotten really smart and we've now interjected virtual assistants inside of it. So my virtual assistant right here, Jess, we get our VAs from va101.co. Again, that's va101.co. va101.co is where we get virtual assistants from. And guys, they're $5 an hour. Imagine somebody running your business, running your life, that's less than $5 an hour. Again, guys, this is the HRA model. You're going to be known as the go-to person. You don't have a house, you didn't buy one, and you didn't rent one. But today we're teaching you how to build relationships with social workers and case managers that all the calls come to you. Then you need to find people like Miss Rita, like Dornico, like Cash, like Janine, like Tiffany, like Miss Angela. The people that already have the real estate. Angela and Rita right now is renovating a property in Orlando, Florida that will have 8 beds available. Are you serious? If you don't know Miss Rita and if you don't know Miss Angela, you're missing it already in Orlando. If you don't know Dornico in Dayton, Ohio, Tiffany is in excuse me. Katara's in South Carolina. Katara just got another ILF. She needs her beds filled. If you're listening, you should be typing in the chat. Katara, how can I get in contact with you? Tiffany, you're in they tell me Oklahoma City. Tiffany, how can I get in touch with you and your team? Because guess what? Everybody I just mentioned, they also have a Jess. It's not the same number, but Katara's got a VA. Tiffany's got a VA. You're not going to be able to reach most of the people that I'm talking about because they're also busy. So that's why I jokingly tell you, you can get bougie now because when you get a VA, it's VA to VA now. Tiffany and I don't have to get on the phone to talk to each other to set up an appointment. My virtual assistant, Jess, is going to get in contact with Cam, who's Tiffany's VA. I think I got his name right. And then somehow Tiffany and I are going to end up on a screen call just like this on a Zoom or on a phone call, but our VA set up the whole appointment. Tiffany and I don't call each other. Tiffany, what's your schedule? That's going to take too much time. Tiffany busy. I'm busy. Tiffany don't know her schedule, and neither do I. I have a virtual assistant, and so does Tiffany. Katara don't know her schedule. Katara got a full-time job, and she's an entrepreneur, and so does Joanne. Miss Joanne is from Racine, Wisconsin, and has 2 ILFs and about to get a 3rd one. Why wouldn't you refer to Miss Joanne? Joanne has also got a virtual assistant because she's busy, she's an entrepreneur, and Joanne still got a full-time job. But you see how the virtual assistant is the cheat code to all of this? Miss Joanne just told me the virtual assistant filled her last 4 beds and she's completely full now. While Miss Joanne is at work, her VA is doing the HRA. Joanne has an ILF, but guess what? When you have an ILF Cash, you're going to have to do both. Because what happens when Joanne gets a call for the military veteran? He can't live there. Guess why? Because Joanne houses females. See? So when the military veteran calls and he's a male, Joanne VA don't say, hey man, sorry, we don't house guys. Click. We don't do that. Joanne's VA says, hey man, excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me, sir. No problem. At the moment, we don't have bed availability for you, but I'm connected with so many of these other housing programs within my network. Give me 30 minutes and I'll call you back. Let me tap into my team and we're going to find somewhere for you, buddy. And sir, by the way, do you mind relocating? Because we have these in all kind of different states. See how I just still made that work? That's what you're doing, guys, as a housing referral agency. You're just going to be the liaison between you and that provider who called you for the housing. When that person moves in, you make a referral fee. Guys, it's not rocket science. I'm going to spend probably 90 minutes to 2 hours talking about this today. But on my website at forstonconsultants.com, there's a 14-minute webinar that's going to break everything down in a more chronological order of what I'm talking about right now. Big shout out to Mom Forston. What's going on, Mom Forston? I see my mom is in the chat. Y'all give Mom Forston a shout out for me. Also, if y'all can do me a favor, I need about 10 of y'all to beg Mom Forston to come back on to like the lives with us. We need Mom Forston back, and I'm sure y'all miss her too. So can I get about 10 people to shout out Mom Forston and have her come back on camera, Tiffany? Dornico, I want Mom Forston on camera. I love my mom. Big shout out to Mom Forston, man. Mom Forston is our spiritual advisor. If you've never met my mom, a lot of you newer people, I told you guys this is a family affair, right? So my whole family is involved in this. My mom is our spiritual advisor. So our spiritual guidance, our prayer, our leadership, our guidance, me staying and keeping on the straight and narrow, not getting too big-headed, staying level grounded, all of that comes from my mom. That's her role. And that's the big job to keep me in line, right? God is good, but God puts people over us to make sure that, you got to respect authority, right? You got to have somebody as an overseer to always kind of guide you, right? And if you guys knew my brother passed away, guys, here in November of last year. My brother was a big guiding point for us, but it never superseded our spiritual covering, which is my mom. So I'm just showing you guys in terms of leadership and how no matter how big you are, you still got somebody that always should be above you, right? God first, but then right after that, who's mentoring you? Who's the leadership? Who's the spiritual guidance over you here on earth? So for us, that's Mom Forston. And if you can see it, they're saying, hey, Mom Forston, miss your voice, blah, 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 a bunch of stuff. So Mom, if you can read those chats, that'd be great. If not, I'll read them one by one. But again, today, really quick womb reset. If you just joined us, I'm teaching people how to house the homeless, the displaced, or the guy that works at Walmart. He don't have to be homeless. Guys, my background is social work. So I always had a heart for the homeless and the displaced. But don't get it twisted. For the last 18 months, we've been housing the regular Joe, the guy that's got a 9-to-5 job, the guy that works at McDonald's, the guy that's got the job with the city, the guy that works at Hardee's, the guy that works at Outback Steakhouse, the guy that works at Sonny's Barbecue, the guy that works at your local gas station. But Katara, you know the story. He can't afford the first, last, or security deposit. He can't buy a house and he can't get an apartment. He needs this shared living environment that we talk about all the time that can look like this. This is the regular house, not some big box building that has 155 doors to it. A regular single family home that's going to house anywhere from probably 6 to 8 people at any given point. But if you desire to do this, but you can't buy a house and you can't rent one, that's exactly what the housing referral agency model is. It allows you to turn yourself into a housing referral agency to where you never need real estate to do this. You only need the relationship, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're real smart, you allow us to do and give you a virtual assistant. So where the virtual assistant can also help you do this, answer the phone, make phone calls, find the social workers for you. And guess what? They're going to come to you trained. Because if you get a virtual assistant from us to do the HRA, they're going to be trained by me and they're going to be trained by Jess. I trained Jess now over 13 months ago to be me. The first day I hired Jess, I said, Jess, congratulations. You're going to be Derek Jr. He thought that was the funniest thing ever, y'all. I said, Jess, I'm really busy, and I'm praying that God makes me real busy to where, Jess, I can't answer the phone, Jess. I can't do the assessment for all the clients, Jess. I can't always talk to a case manager, Jess. I said, Jess, I want them to know you. Jess, I want you to be the program manager. And Jess, even though you live 9,112 miles away from me, from my doorstep in a different country in the Philippines, everybody from now moving forward will know you as the program manager. Guys, this is genius. And that's how my program is ran today, guys. Over 6-7 years ago, God and I started Second Chance Housing. But over 12 months ago, I gave that program to Jess and I trained her to be me. So when you get your virtual assistant, guys, like, we're going to train that VA to answer that phone, do social media, and build your relationships in the community. Now, I'll admit, I've been doing this for so long, y'all. There's a lot of social workers and case managers that still just know me. But the newer case managers, like over the last year, since I gave it to Jess, some of them don't even know me. They only know Jess. And that's the way that we want it over time. Because, guys, again, I'll never go back to answering the phone calls. I'll never go back to doing the social media. I'm always going to build relationships in the community because that's just who I am. But guess who's setting that up? Jess. Jess is the one that calls and say, good morning. May I speak to the director of social work? Good morning, Miss Jennifer. My name is Jess, and I'm calling on behalf of Second Chance Housing. I would like to know when is the best date and time that our thought leader, Mr. Derek Forston, and Miss Shanya Shea Forston can come and visit you and your team of social workers to talk about how we can end homelessness together. Let us know how many is going to be a part of the group because we always bring coffee and donuts. And again, let me know what date and time, and I'll set the whole thing up for you, and I'll make sure that Derek shows up on time. Tiffany and Katara, I hope I said that slow enough. Because sometimes even my mom tell me, Derek, sometimes you talk too fast. Tiffany, I hope I said that so slow that people were almost able to write it down. And what's so genius about this room, guys, it's recorded. So see how much I want you all to succeed in this, that I give you the absolute verbiage. But imagine somebody else doing that for you while you at your 9-to-5 job. Miss Joanne, Katara. Katara and Joanne are two people that have a full-time job. They own other businesses, have spouses and other extracurricular activities outside of their job. They're involved in a church. They're involved in their community. So guess who's making all of these calls? Katara can't do this all day. Tiffany can't do this all day. Angela, just like you got a full-time job, Angela. In fact, Angela got 2 jobs now. You can't do this alone, ladies and gentlemen. That's why the virtual assistant is such a cheat code to it. Moving along. Why would you want to be a housing referral agency? I said it already, because you want to house the homeless. You want to house people, but you can't buy a house or rent one. Or maybe you just plain out, you desire to help, but you also want to make an income and an impact. What if you have an ILF, but you're full already? That's another thing. What if you got an ILF, Dornico, and you're full? That's why Dornico is helping other people get clients, because when he's full or somebody's just not a good fit for his program because he's housing men and the lady calls, you refer them somewhere else. So you're still being a help, ladies and gentlemen. You don't hang up the phone and just say, nope, we don't house women. I'm sorry. Click. You say, no, give me 30 minutes and we'll call you back. Let me tap into my team and let's see how we can help you. Does that make sense, everybody? Am I losing anybody? Today, I'm trying to make sure that I'm speaking extra slow. I'm still loud as usual, right? I'm always going to be loud, but I'm making sure that I'm speaking slow. Kentucky chick, if I'm talking too fast, now you tell me. She's from Kentucky, so she's country like me. You know, we got that little slang to our talk, but if I'm talking too fast and sometimes I stutter, but is anybody lost? Give me 3 people that just say, hey, there, I follow, and I get it. Give me 3 people that just get it. But I want anybody that's lost right now. If you're thinking, Derek, how do I house people without a house, without buying or renting one? Derek, what is this HRA? Because if nobody's lost, I'm going to keep it rolling. But if somebody's lost, Miss Angela, I want to just stop and slow it down and just continue to break it down. But all I'm saying right now is that you can house people and you don't need the property. You need people like Miss Tiffany and Dornico and Katara. They already got the that gun property. You call them, and no matter where you live at, you need to be working where Tiffany lives at. Why would you work in your city when Tiffany don't live in your city? Until you find somebody that lives in your city that does this, you need to go where the help is needed. One more time, really slowly, and it's just a couple people. Dornico is in Dayton, Ohio. You should be typing in the chat. Bro, how can we connect? Tiffany is in Oklahoma City. Tiffany, how can we connect with your virtual assistant, Mr. Cam? Somebody should be saying, Katara, you in South Carolina. How can I connect with your program? I hear you guys are doing great things. 311 Solutions. That's the name of it. Rita and Angela just got a house that they're rehabbing in Orlando, Florida. Will be 8 beds. They need to fill the beds, ladies and gentlemen. Who's going to help them? So make this a networking event as well while we're here. You guys should be, in fact, I'll be the first one, right? It's called Breaking the Ice. I'm going to type in the chat where I'm located. Every one of you all should be networking in here right now. Put in the chat where you're located. Where is your ILF? Where are you willing to refer to? Because right now, I'll tell you right now, guess who has all of the phone numbers that I just told you? Jess has got Tiffany's phone number. Jess has got her assistant's phone number. Jess has Katara's phone number and her assistant, Dornico. And I could go down the line and go over and over for all of these people. But if you say, well, Derek, I don't have a VA just yet. God, you can do this on your own. I just teach you the cheat code of it by getting a virtual assistant. Most people, I'll admit, do start this by themselves. And then you get a little fancy, and then you get that VA after a while. Guys, also don't forget to type your name. No, excuse me. Type any questions in the chat. Here in about 4 minutes, I'm going to stop and pause and answer any questions that people have. But again, today, if you're just joining us or if you're new to us, if God has told you to house people, you don't need a license and you don't need a property. You can be a housing referral agency. Give me 3 people that have heard me play voicemails of companies that call us and say, hey, Derek, how many beds you got available? Hi, Miss Jess, just calling, got 5 clients. How many beds you got available? Guys, there are companies that this is all they do, Janine, is they look for people like y'all that have the housing. They have the people. We're just turning you guys into that now, but I'm so just generous. I'm showing you all other people that are doing it who you can refer into today. Most webinars and coaches and people that teach you stuff, most things you can't apply like right now and make an income and impact right now. Guys, y'all can make an impact and an income right now with this. And the greatest example, I'll always give it. Some of y'all going to get tired of hearing it, but I'll always tell it. Letitia Warren heard me teach this on a Monday for the first time about a year ago. On a Tuesday, Letitia had me on the phone talking to some guy that she was like, Derek, I just picked this guy up in my Uber. He was in this ragged hotel. And Derek, I did exactly what you told me to do. You said, talk about housing and see if you can find him somewhere else better than where he is now. And ask him, and here's the cheat code, are you willing to relocate? That's the 5 most famous and powerfulest words that I can ever give you with the HRA, and that's free coaching right now. Because I don't care where you live at. What if you get a call from a guy in your city? He homeless, but he got the money. He's got the income, but in your city, there is nothing. But what if you say, hey, buddy, I'm connected to a few of these, actually. I got a few of these in Dayton, Ohio. I got some in South Carolina, and I got one in Oklahoma. Oklahoma City? Man, I grew up in Oklahoma City. My aunt lives there. My brother's there. This guy could be 1,500 miles from Oklahoma City, but just because he got family there and you got housing there and you can make that connection, you and Tiffany get together, see how you get this guy to Oklahoma, you move him in, you just made a referral fee because Tiffany got to pay for that. If you sent Tiffany a client that Tiffany never knew, the call came through you, and you call Tiffany and say, Tiffany, boy, I got a great guy. Tiffany, he a military veteran. Tiffany, he from your area, but right now he in Georgia. Tiffany, I don't know how we gonna get him to your place in your city, but Tiffany, he got the income. He ready to move in now. That's when we teach you guys how to work that part out. That can be done cheaply. Now the guy moves in, forget the money for 2 seconds. Forget about the money. You just took somebody from homeless to hopeful, gave them a brand new start in a different city. Tiffany got paid because she's the landlord. She gonna collect rent every month. You win because you helped the social worker house this guy, and you also made a referral fee. Lord have mercy. Can somebody put some fire emojis in the chat? Because I just gave y'all a scenario how this works. Ken, can you put some fire emojis in the chat? Janine, Rita, Tiffany, Cash, can somebody give me some fire emojis if that was just halfway cool? I'm going to check on my Instagram folks over here because they're on a different screen. My folks on Instagram, are you guys following me? Big shout out to Jeremiah. I see you on Instagram, big bro. One of the greatest photographers to ever do it. That guy that you see on Instagram, Jeremiah, if you need some photography work, video editing, any of that stuff, he's not a VA. He's live in person, right? He don't know it yet, but he probably going to be shooting our masterclass. Big shout out to Jeremiah. But guys, I just want to make sure that this is making sense because, again, if God has put on your heart to house the homeless, to house the displaced, or to start a housing program, and if your excuse is that you can't buy a house and you can't rent one, guys, the Housing Referral Agency is exactly what you need because you don't need a property to provide this solution, okay? The next step is the virtual assistant, guys, which is that remote worker. I told you guys, my entire team is in the Philippines other than Alex, who's in Nigeria, and Danish, who's in Pakistan. Here's Alex. Alex is in Nigeria, guys. I have no staff that works for me in the U.S. This is how we make this really affordable, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Right here is Danish. This is our developer for my digital marketing company. Guys, I have a whole digital marketing company, and that sounds really crazy for somebody like me that's not really techie. But guys, the cheat code is leveraging somebody like Danish who can do all of the things that I dream of doing. He can do it in his sleep. Guys, I could never do that stuff. Thank you, Shay. Shay brought me a cup of tea, y'all. Y'all give Shay a shout out. Shay's doing something that's much more important than what I'm doing right now. So y'all give Shay a shout out and thank Shay for allowing me to be on this thing today. Shay, we appreciate you, honey. Thank you so much. Shay fixed me some hot tea and it's still steamy. I can't even drink it. But thank y'all so much for also putting this stuff in the chat. So far, it don't look like I'm losing anybody. And that's my main concern. So I love that. So let me go back here because the VAs, again, guys, is what allow us to be the superheroes. I'll admit, guys, I own 8 different businesses. We're about to cut that to probably about 6. But what allows us to own so many different businesses, guys, and be good at it and effective, I'll admit, it's not because I'm so great. It's not because Shay is so great. Guys, we got a team of VAs that make us look like superstars. And that's how it's really done in business, guys. You're leveraging a different skill set so that you can make impact in your business and in your community, right? Even if you're a photographer like my guy, Jeremiah, I'm going to convince him to get one. He could probably use a virtual assistant. I'm sure Jeremiah does all his own editing, and I'm sure he's great at it. But what if he trains somebody to do that for him, which allows him to continue to be the photographer, which he's amazing at? So I tell people, when you get a VA, it allows you to buy your time back and allow you to do what you're really good at. So I don't care if you're a cook, if you're a consultant, or if you mow grass as a landscaper. If we get you a virtual assistant to set up appointments and to drive traffic and business to you, that's how you're able to expand and grow and then also scale to do what you're really, really good at. So again, one more time, guys, the virtual assistant is going to allow you to not only buy your time back, but they're also going to allow you to take more time out for what you're really, really good at. Hey, what's going on, family? I hope you guys are enjoying the content, but just in case if you arrived just a little bit after we started, we're literally discussing the HRA, which stands for Housing Referral Agency. There's a lot of people that want to get into what we do when it comes to housing the homeless, but they're not ready to buy a property or rent or lease one just yet. But with the HRA, it's going to allow you guys to still house the homeless, make an impact in your community, and make an income, and you don't need the property. The HRA is all about relationship. So literally, guys, prime example, even me, I have 5 beds available in Kissimmee, and I have 4 beds available in Orlando right now. You guys can begin to referring clients to me immediately, literally after learning this information. Let's get back to the show. All right, you heard the guy. So as soon as this is over, guys, I want you guys to make sure that you watch that webinar that's at forstonconsultants.com. There's 2 of them. One to be the HRA. It's only 14 minutes long. And then the other one to be the ILF operator, to where you want your own housing program. You want the house, meaning you're going to either buy it or rent it. Guys, that would change your life. And that's where a lot of people get started at. And then they start being nosy on YouTube. So we encourage that. I want you guys to stalk my YouTube at Forston Consultants, stalk us on Instagram and Facebook at Forston Consultants, and let's be friends at Derek Forston on Facebook and also over there on TikTok. So a lot of the rehab work, guys, that we've been doing over the last, I'm going to say week and last few days, all of that's on TikTok right now. It's on my Facebook at Derek Forston. Forston Consultants is a little bit behind on that, but my team gets it out to everywhere else, at least every day. There's probably 3 to 4 posts that go out. And guys, remember, I'm not doing that. I have a team of people that do that. And these are virtual assistants that start at $5 an hour to literally make all your dreams come true. So all my life, guys, I've been wanting some help. I've been wanting an assistant, right? And I just thought that would always cost me 50 grand a year, $100,000 a year. But with the cheat code of virtual assistants, man, that have a bachelor or a master's degree from an accredited college for $5 an hour, guys, that's the cheat code to business and life, ladies and gentlemen. If I'm wrong about it, put it in the chat and let's talk about it. But for $5 an hour, they're like genies in a bottle. You rub the bottle, they make all your dreams come true, right? It's like you say, they do, right? And again, the cost efficiency of it is what's crazy. So they're going to handle your phone management, your social media, your email management. How many of us, just 2 of y'all raise y'all hand, but how many of y'all never respond to emails in a timely fashion, whether that's personal or business? But what if you had a virtual assistant that answered all of your emails, or at least let you know when you got an important one? Hey, Mr. Derek, Miss Jones hit us up again. How should we respond? Right? Building relationships within the community. I'll admit, guys, I don't do a lot of that anymore. I teach y'all to do that like religiously. But when you got a VA that will call every hospital in your city to introduce you, how genius is that? So Jess, again, this is what it sounds like. And watch me try to say this really slowly, not to lose anybody. Good morning. May I speak to the director of case management? Great, I'll hold. Good morning, Mr. Jones. How's it going? Great. My name is Jess, and I'm calling from Second Chance Housing. And I would love to know, what is a great day and time that I can meet with you and your team? Or Mr. Derek, our thought leader, can meet with you and your team to talk about how we can work together to take people from homeless to hopeful. We have an independent living facility, and this is just a normal 4-bed, 2-bath home, and we have 2 beds in each room, sir. And in fact, I'm going to pretend that we're on a video call, and this is what it looks like, sir. It's a regular 4-bed, 2-bath home, so that when you have a client that's independent, that can take their own medications, that can provide their own transportation, and then they can cook their own bologna sandwich, you give us a call. These are the exact kind of clients we house. As long as they have an independent, as long as they have a guaranteed income and they're independent, Mr. Social Worker, you can call me every day. I'm here Monday through Friday from 9 to 5. And also remember, our thought leader, Mr. Derek, is our boots on the ground, and he'll be glad to come and see you guys tomorrow at 9 a.m. if you guys are available. Guys, that's what my VA does for me. So imagine me just now showing up to appointments with coffee and donuts. And now Jess orders the coffee and donuts. So you see how all of this is taken off of me so that I can prepare myself for the meeting. Because usually me, my whole ride to a meeting, guys, I'm praying, sometimes praying in the spirit, getting my mind right, telling God, when I walk in this door, allow these people to see me like the best thing since sliced bread. Allow my housing program to be the change at this hospital. Allow them to only call me because our service is so great. Guys, I pray like this. That's why I'm a no-brainer in my city. Not because I'm so great, but I serve a God that is powerful. And trust me when I tell y'all this, when he blow on your program, whether it's a housing referral agency or whether you got the ILF yourself, because don't forget, today's Saturday. I'm speaking to the people that don't have a house, people that didn't buy one or rent one. Remember, you still got a program. You still got a name. Take away all of my properties from me. I'm still second chance housing, and Jess gonna get a phone call every day, 50 times a day for housing. So I'm still housing people, y'all. So again, don't forget, God is up on top of all of this. Remember, I'm no pastor, I'm no preacher, and this ain't church. But if you want to succeed in life and in your business, you got to keep God first. He got to be a part of it. He got to be the cornerstone of it. Right behind God is Jess. Right behind Jess is softwares and systems that make our whole thing run. Join us every Tuesday to talk about that. We use digitalflowsolutions.net. They can do everything for building your website, your logo, your funnel pages, and your internet presence. That when people Google housing in your city, you pop to the top on Google. That's what digitalflowsolutions.net does for you. Check that out as well when you guys leave here. You get a website for $97. You pick your hosting fee and you take off running. But again, guys, I'll admit again, what makes all of this work for us, God Almighty, but right behind that, Jess, because I'm too busy doing this right here, what I'm doing with y'all today. I love this. God has got our program to a point now where I could just keep buying real estate and Jess gonna keep filling those beds up. I want to teach more and more and more and more people to do it. So my love is about a balance between housing people and teaching it. I love both of them. But I've gotten so smart, I've hired Jess for $5 an hour to run my whole program, which allows me to teach all over the world. By the way, if you're watching this and you got a speaking event coming up or a real estate event, I would love to speak at it. My VAs, watch this. I'll show it to you. Alex, my other staff, built me a website just to book me for speaking engagements. And if I remember, I think it's called interview.derekforston.com, I think. But if you want to interview me on a podcast, if you have a speaking engagement that's live and you want me to be the keynote speaker, or if you're hosting a real estate event and you want to sprinkle in the shared housing model, because everybody is talking about fix and flip and buy and hold, people usually bring us in for the specialty. We speak at a lot of real estate events, but when they bring us, it's for to let people hear something that they've never heard of. Wow. He gonna take one house like this, and he gonna put 8 people in it, and they all pay rent. That blows a lot of people's mind. So we teach you how to start a ministry, a program to where you're creating pathways out of homelessness by using real estate. And if you just joined us, guys, we're teaching you how to house folks without the property. And that virtual assistant is going to be the cheat code to it. What is your title while you're doing this? You're a housing specialist. You're a housing referral agency. You're a housing provider. You just provide housing, period. No matter what you call the name, because I want y'all to start a business. Don't forget that. Something LLC. I'm second chance. What is your name? Can I have about 5 people to just speak in faith right now and throw your future name in the chat? Just think of what your name would be if you started this tomorrow. I'm going to pretend that I didn't have second chance. I'm going to think of something even myself right now. Watch this. Just off the top of my head. Bam. Greater Solutions, LLC. And I teach everybody because Ken and I talked about this just the other day, Ken and Rita. When you do pick a name, what's the meaning behind it? Somebody's going to ask you one day, what does that mean? Why did you type that? What is that? What does that stand for? So again, about 5 of y'all. And by the way, if you have a name, give people the idea of what it is and also advertise it. So Tiffany, Dornico, Katara, Joanne, Angela, all of you all, put your name in the chat. Give our other viewers and listeners an idea of even some of the teachings that y'all got from me. Because watch this, dummy me, because I didn't know many years ago, I used the word housing in my name. I teach today, don't do that. Housing kind of locks you in. And also, when I send you to the bank to get money, banks don't like real estate. So we don't use no names that sound like real estate. Notice Janine chose Monarch Solutions. Janine, can you tell us just real briefly in the chat, what does that mean? Somebody's going to ask Janine one day. So I always tell people, have a meaning behind that name. Have a story to it. In other words, Forefront Living Solutions. I love this. FLS. Because now you can start abbreviating it. Come on, Tiffany. Where's Darnico? Where's Miss Shay? If you got a name already, where's Miss Angela? Where's Katara? And if you got a future name, let's just have fun with that. What is your name right now today? And end it with maybe nothing, just a name, but don't use nothing that sounds like real estate. 3 keys that you can use is solutions, enterprise, consulting. When we want to start a real estate business or buy real estate or do anything with real estate, I'm not going to have the name real estate in it. Because remember, the bank don't like real estate. And I love to go to the bank and ask and beg for money. So I'm going to choose a name that has solutions at the end, or enterprise, or consulting, or consultants. I hope that was a gem for somebody, because when I first learned that, I didn't know that. Bright Side Solutions. I love that. I can imagine what that would stand for because of what we do. 311 Solutions. Love it. Y'all do me another favor just to give my listeners a greater sense of why y'all chose these names. Katara, what does that mean? Why did you choose that? Bright Side Solutions. Like, I can think of just things right now off the cuff of how I can say what that means, but put it in there, Mickey. Next phase. Love that. Next phase of life. Think about that. The Clarissa Project. I love this. Thank y'all for participating, but see how none of these people was a dummy like me and used the word housing or nothing with real estate or investing in the name? We don't do that, ladies and gentlemen. So all of these people took the coaching and they was very smart. Look at the Clarissa Project. She didn't use solutions, enterprise, or consulting, but I love it. And it's the same thing. It's a project. I'm not being tied into one thing. She can open up 5 businesses tomorrow and still use the Clarissa Project, because that's the base of it all. Love it, Angela. Fresh Start Housing from Dayton, Ohio. Love it. Give them the whole name, bro. Love it. FSH. Fresh Start Housing. So this is what you're going to call yourself, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're new to us, these are all the people that we've taught this to. Most of them, they do both the HRA and they also have property. But most of y'all, because a lot of y'all just bought our ILF Mastery Blueprint package, you guys don't have a property yet. So guess what you're going to be doing in the beginning? The stepping stones, which is the HRA, meeting these social workers and case managers. This is what I've been talking about already. You need a business, LLC. Let's not get super complicated. This isn't tax advice, but don't worry about the nonprofit right now. Don't worry about the S Corp and the C Corp. Go get you a cheap LLC and let's get started. And trust me, my accountant probably don't want me saying that. And, I'm not supposed to be talking about taxes. But again, right, let's not make this rocket science, y'all. Remove your first and last name, remove you from the scenario, and begin and start a business. Create a logo, go to Canva, get it for free, or tap into digitalflowsolutions.net. They'll build it for you, really cheap and really nice. You need a website. This is 2024, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't have a website presence, you almost don't exist. KM Dynasty, love it. Sounds like she took 2 names and merged those together. Love it. Dynasty. The bank love that kind of stuff. Group, project, dynasty, consulting. To the bank, this means low overhead, high income. I'm going to say that again one more time, really slowly. When the banks view your business according to your NAICS code, that NAICS code, they're viewing you from what is it going to cost you to start this business and run it. Consulting, project, dynasty, enterprise has the potential to have a low startup, but a high ceiling to make income. Prime example. And because I'm a consultant, I know this. Consulting, I can do that from my house. I don't need an office. I don't need a building, but I can make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. No staff. But if you make it sound like real estate, they're going to consider you as a high risk. So again, guys, back to what you need to get started. Begin a business. Get some kind of LLC, create a logo, and go to digitalflowsolutions.net, guys, and get you a dadgum website for $97. That's a no-brainer. Just 2 months ago, they were $900, but now because they own it, you get a website for $97, guys. Katara, if you could do me a favor, type in digitalflowsolutions.net in the chat. I want to make sure that everybody can see that. Katara or Miss Angela, y'all help me out because I don't have my tech lady kind of with me today. Otherwise, Shay would have stopped me a long time ago to answer questions and all of that. So I got to go back and get questions, y'all. But again, I'm really good at making sure that people are following us. Anybody lost, anybody that doesn't understand that tomorrow, even regardless of me telling you, go get a business and a logo, yes. But essentially by Monday morning, you all could be referring to me. I got bids available in Orlando and Kissimmee, and we're rehabbing a brand new one right now in Orlando that I'm going to need 8 women in it. Who wants to help me fill that place? Because I pay good and on time. $300 per referral. You can fill that house up if you want to. 10 people, $300. How much is that? $3,000, right? Exactly. And this is just kind of what we use to pay the VA and how we manage them and all of that stuff, right? Wise Pay is how we pay them. HubStaff is how we monitor our virtual assistants, how they clock in, clock out, right? How they get paid. And then LastPass is what I use to give them access to all of my stuff without giving them access to all of my stuff. So all of my logins, and guys, this can go as deep as you want it. So however far you trust your VA, some people don't want their VA and own their banking and all this stuff. That's your comfortability. I won't even get into that today. But my VAs, especially my main 2, they got all my stuff just about, but they don't know the password. They don't know the login. LastPass allows my VAs to run my business if I want to go on vacation for 2 weeks. Tara is my executive administrator. Tara knows all my stuff, right? Tara's just like, I mean, she's it. She's the boss. So Tara knows everything about all businesses, including the financials. My other VAs have no clue what my books look like. Tara knows all of the books, the numbers, the math, where we're losing, where we're winning, what we should be doing. In fact, one of the businesses that we're getting ready to get rid of came from the advice of Tara. I don't make all of the decisions, guys, just because I'm Derek. That's why I hire an executive administrator who's smarter than me. This lady on the screen right here, guys, is smarter than me. That's what makes me really smart, because most people won't meet Tara. Most people won't meet most of my team other than like Jess. A lot of y'all have met and will continue to always meet and talk to Jess. Amber runs our VA 101. Most of y'all will meet and talk to Amber at some point if you're doing business with us. She's also got kind of that skill set what Tara has. She's a gem. Alex, unless you're doing something on the techie side with websites, workflows, automations, lead generations, you probably, may not meet Alex. But if you are, you will. April, you'll never meet April. April's in charge of all of our social media. She's terrified to be on this screen. She's terrified to talk to people. Notice her skill set and what she does. I don't need her to talk to nobody other than me. I don't need her to be on camera. Now, Jess and Tara and Amber, they'll come on here and do presentations for you all. In fact, Amber's doing a presentation, I think, Tuesday. Join us Tuesday at 6 p.m. Amber goes over the whole presentation of how VA 101 actually works. But April was shaking her boots if I told her, April, I want you to come on Saturday morning and talk about how great you are at my social media. Y'all, April will be stuttering and shaking so bad, she wouldn't even be able to speak. But social media, gosh, she's our social media maven. So again, just back to kind of what you need to operate. You need a phone system. Digital Flow Solutions could help you with that as well. We also love Telegram in terms of text messaging and communicating throughout the day. So this is how we talk to our VAs. This is how all the work gets done. Okay. So again, guys, I talk about this and I repeat this every week, and also the reason why I do it, because we always get 5 to probably 10 new people per week that tune into this. And most of them, I'll admit, that's actually on the replay. So if you're new to us right now, please let us know. We love new people. And we also have a free gift for all new members. All you got to do is text the word new to 407-326-0086. And my team will send you some free information. Don't cost you a dime. We just want you to be involved, and we want you to have a little bit of extra know-how when it comes to what is this model? How do you do the HRA? And how do you do the ILF Mastery Blueprint? We want to give you a free gift. I just put it in the chat. If you guys text 407-326-0086, text the word new, and my team will make sure that they get you some information on that. Right here, guys, is where we talk about, and if you guys are following me on Instagram and Facebook, you will see that my team is genius at this. If you're not advertising this housing program, guys, how will people know about you? So Facebook and Instagram, they need to know who you are. TikTok, LinkedIn, Twitter, they need to know who you are. Okay. Hey, what's going on, family? Just to let you know really quick, everything that you're listening to right now, I actually have it in a more structured way in a webinar. So when you guys get done here, go to forstonconsultants.com, click the tab that says webinars, and there's 2 webinars there. One is for you to be the actual ILF operator, meaning that you want to do it. And then the other one is the HRA. That stands for Housing Referral Agency, where you're able to take people from homeless to hopeful, and you actually don't need the real estate. It stands for Housing Referral Agency, and we call it a business in a box. But definitely go to forstonconsultants.com, watch both of those webinars, then set up a free strategy call with me and my team, and let's see how we can get you started. Back to the show. All right, good stuff, good stuff. So you heard the guy. After we're done here, make sure that you go and watch that webinar, guys, at forstonconsultants.com. Watch both of them, the HRA, because that's what most people will start at, right? Very few people come to us with property. So even when you want to do this as the ILF operator, you're still probably going to start with the HRA, because remember, I don't want you guys to wait to make an impact and to make income. I want you to be able to do that from day one. So when we first started teaching this, Mom Forston, as you know, these people had to have a house. They had to have a house to make this work. But today you can be a housing referral agency. And guys, you never need the property. You only need relationship and knowing other people that have the property. And again, if you use a virtual assistant, man, you guys can be doing this for 8 hours a day while you're at your 9-to-5 job. Okay. Ultimately, guys, you guys are providing housing, man, and joining some of these Facebook groups. This is another cheat code. In fact, this is such a cheat code that I put this inside of the course as well. But I want y'all to know how to do it so much that I show it to you. So join Facebook groups that say social workers or case managers or homelessness or even the word social services. You will see people on Facebook Marketplace and in those groups that say we rent rooms. So there's landlords just like me that'll go and buy a house and they'll rent the rooms out. Why not call that guy and say, hey, this is exactly what my company does. We get phone calls each and every day. You keep buying real estate, I keep filling the houses. I charge $300 per referral or whatever your fee is. So you finding people like that to refer into, I think that was one of the questions that was asked in our private Telegram group. She was like, well, Derek, how do I find the people to refer to? This slide right here is a genius slide because you're going to be joining multiple groups. And if you got a virtual assistant, task your virtual assistant with joining at least 10 Facebook groups a day. Now, when Jess first started, I told her to join 20 a day. I'm going to be nice to y'all. Somewhere between 5 to 10 groups a day, you should be joining. Because imagine you being able to put this message out to 50 to 60 people at one touch of a button. And there's a certain kind of way that you do that, right? So you HRA people in our group, I've given y'all advice of how to do that, right? Don't just spam the group. So make sure that you guys watch that video inside of that VIP group. But for my new people that are just hearing this, you guys need to find people on Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. Those 2 alone, you will see people and just type into the search bar, renting rooms. You will see a lot of landlords that just rent rooms. Why not you call them as your business? Good morning. This is Monarch Solutions. I saw your ad on Facebook. I noticed that you rent rooms to people. Great thing is my company, this is exactly what we do. It's called Monarch Solutions, and we get calls from social workers and case managers every day, all day. So I always have an influx of phone calls. And sir, just to keep it real with you, sir, we don't have housing. So we look for people like you, sir, each and every day to partner with. So if you're a real estate investor, you just keep buying property and we'll keep filling your properties up. What a relationship is that? Put a number 7 in the chat if you think that's pretty cool how I just broke that down. Because essentially that's how you can start this tomorrow. Man, I hope somebody's getting this, Mom Forston. Mom Forston, if you here, Mom, are you getting this, Mom Forston? Because if my mom is confused, then I know I'm not doing it right. Because my mom will tell me, Derek, you talking too over people's head. Derek, you talking too fast. Derek, you stuttering. So my mom, if you still here, Mom, am I breaking this down just right for people to be able to understand it, Mom? Because if not, Tiffany and Katara will also tell me, especially Angela. Angela will too. Can I get any of those people to let me know that if I'm explaining this just right? Because I don't want to lose nobody. Facebook groups, Facebook Marketplace. And I give this example all the time, so I'm going to say it really slowly. I'm in Orlando, Florida. On Facebook, there's a group that's called it's called Social Workers of Orlando. Guess how many social workers are inside of that group? Thousands. Can you imagine? Say just put you giving the game away. Say that's what I'm trying to do, actually. Say, I got 2 goals every time I come here. 1, give the game away. Give a lot of information. Because Shay, remember, Shay, I promised God many years ago, God, if you give it to me, I'll go all over the world teaching it and I'll take no credit. Shay, that's what I hope I'm doing right now. The second goal, Shay, is to give them an opportunity to get into it. And Shay, what I forgot to tell the people, the HRA Business in the Box is actually $1,997. We've slashed that $4,700 price down now for about 9 or 10 months or so. But Shay, I forgot to tell them there's a scholarship that's now available for that thing now. Because if y'all remember, there was only a scholarship for the IMB. How about my team has decided to do a scholarship for now the HRA Business in the Box? So now the HRA Business in the Box, guys, is only $997. So again, if you want that, and it's still so early, I don't even know if it's in our system, but if you want it, just text the number 407-326-0086, because I don't want you to pay the $1997 if you're hearing this today. There's going to be 5 people later on today. They won't hear this. They're going to go right to my website and they're going to buy it. I'm treating y'all today. There's a scholarship available for the HRA Business in the Box, which comes with the VA. I'm going to give you a virtual assistant. I'm going to give you the email scripts, the phone scripts, meaning what to say. And you get group coaching every Saturday. I'm going to give you the course, the ebook, and the curriculum. And I'm going to put you in a VIP group with all of these people. Guys, for $1997. Oh, excuse me. No, $997. So I'm going to put that in the chat. My team going to see this. And I want to make sure that you guys know it. $997 HRA BIB, Business in a Box. If you guys want that, text this number 407-326-0086. That's the scholarship now. So I don't even know if they're talking about taking it back to the $1997 eventually, but I'm going to just say for right now, until they tell me otherwise, the HRA Business in the Box, guys, is now only nine. See, I'm so used to saying 1997. It's only $997. Okay. And if you remember, the MSI group coaching recordings were also only $997. So think about that. If you're really smart, and if you think that you can't afford the IMB blueprint, you should consider getting the HRA Business in the Box and the MSI group coaching. Because guess what the MSI group coaching is, y'all? And Qatar says, wow. Qatar, the MSI group coaching is the exact same coaching and teaching as the ILF Mastery Blueprint, but it's on a 6-week course that we recorded. So including Lynette, it was 5 weeks, but we threw Lynette back into it. So you get a 6-week coaching of ILF Mastery Blueprint information, a virtual assistant, paperwork for only $997. Some of y'all should get those too, You only spend about $2,000 and get all the coaching and the VA. That should be a celebration for somebody. I'm gonna keep it moving because I'm running out of time. And somebody said, well, Derek, where would I serve it? Katara says, that's a no-brainer. Katara, I think so too, but Katara, to each his own. Katara, my worst fear though, is that somebody gonna spend their money on something stupid with this income tax money, and they're not gonna pour into themselves. Now, the old Derek, and I still kind of struggle with this, that would kind of hurt my feelings. But my coach is teaching me, Derek, when people don't move at the speed of instruction, as y'all say, and don't move on something that can change their life and their family, Derek, it's nothing to do with you. It's nothing to do with you and your product. There's nothing wrong with you, Derek. They don't believe in themselves. Okay. So, and that's no diss on anybody, but if you don't think that the $997 for the HRA and the $997 for 6 weeks, and each of those weeks went over 2 hours and 30 minutes a piece for 6 hours, and the paperwork and the VA. So you can essentially get 2 VAs, the MSI group coaching for 6 weeks, and Katara, you took that. You know what that was. Tiffany, you took that. And the HRA for $2,000. Guys, that's almost like our Christmas sale. So I just hope somebody taps into it, because if you don't, just don't tell me that you went and bought the Gucci belt for $1,000. Just, I don't want to know about it, because that'll make me mad. Because again, that'll show me that you don't care about yourself or your family or your future. So again, guys, don't spend this income tax money that y'all about to get, or some of y'all got it already. Spend it on something that can last a lifetime and that can change the life of your family. Okay. Joanne said I'm throwing out gems and sales. Big shout out to Joanne. Joanne, I'm really proud of you, because I know me and you do joke a lot, Joanne, but I'm proud of you because what I saw you do the other day, it actually made me feel real good. So Joanne, guys, is a person that's got a full-time job. She's owned several businesses. She's into real estate. She's got 2 ILFs, about to get her 3rd. She's got a virtual assistant. But guess what I saw Joanne doing the other day on her Instagram or Facebook? Exercise, Pilates, lifting weights, moving and getting her heart rate up. Now, see, y'all know we joke and we play, but I'm finna be serious. Guys, we are useless to the kingdom of God if we're not able-bodied and have a mind of Christ. One more time. Guys, we are useless to God's kingdom if we don't have the mind of Christ, the way we can think straight and pray and speak the word. And if we don't have an able body, guys, we're doing ourselves, our community, and we're doing God a disservice. So your prayer life and part of your prayer, and trust me, guys, I'm no health guru. I'm no none of that. I got a bunch of bad habits still. Believe me, I got some bad eating habits. I got some bad other habits that could all affect health. But I just got to say it, though. According to my doctor and my health, I'm doing pretty good. And a lot of that went from just cutting out the soda, the juice, all that sugar, and the snack cakes that I love still to this day. But Joanne, just big shout out to you. I saw Joanne working out and taking care of her body, because Joanne has got a lot of goals. Me and Joanne talk a lot. She's an I Love Master Blueprint member, so we always are talking on the phone. And Joanne's got a lot of ideas, a lot of aspirations, a lot of dreams. But guess what? That stuff don't mean nothing when your health bad and if you don't have the mind of Christ. Because at least if your health bad, but you got the mind of Christ, oh, I can still pray and I can still do things for the kingdom with the mind of Christ that can still get my body healed. But if I'm both missing the mind of Christ and a healthy body, forget about it. God can't use me. I'm useless. So my prayer, God, every day, give me the mind of Christ to do your will and make solid decisions. And God, optimize my health. Sometimes you got to use big words even with God, like optimize. What does that mean? Give me the best outcome from my body, for my situation, for my age, meaning the best that it can be. So Joanne, again, she typed it. She said, y'all, it's my lifestyle. Like that. Guys, I had no clue to go here today. Like that wasn't part of my sermon, but I'm supposed to say this for some reason. Guys, take care of yourself, man. Take care of yourself. High blood pressure, diabetes, hard-headed Derek, diagnosed many years ago with diabetic and high blood pressure, never took the medications. Dummy me. Now that I take them, my health is optimized. I done lost all of this weight. Now, I'll admit y'all, I don't really like all of the weight loss. I wasn't crazy about that. But my blood work, my blood pressure, my sugar diabetes, none existed now due to some health changes. Joanne, I got so small, Joanne, I stopped exercising. Joanne, I actually want to exercise, but Joanne, I lost so much weight from cutting the sugar. I said, well, I got to cut this walking and running out. I'm just going to lift weights now. So somebody need to hear this. All these big dreams and these big plans on your heart, guys, without an optimized health plan and the mind of Christ, we're useless. And those dreams will go nowhere. So Joanne, thank you for being motivation for me this week. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to talk about it. Because usually when me and Joanne going back and forth, we joking and we playing about stuff. She's successful now. Things are working. Joanne's last step is leaving that job. And that's my ultimate goal as a coach one day, to see all y'all walk off your job the right way, with the right timing, and with God's permission. Not Derek, because Derek think it's cool. Joanne, the devil is a liar that you'll quit your job because I said it. It's going to be in God's timing through Derek's coaching, though. God's going to use me to coach you, Joanne. But you don't leave your job because Derek think it's cool. No, and I do. I think it's real cool. But that ain't how we do it. We're going to do it the right way. Always told you that too, Joanne. You're not going to just quit because it sounds great and you got all of this stuff going on. We leave the right way at the right time. Okay? Big shout out to Joanne, man. Joey says, Derek, I do no cardio, only weights. Jenny said, you look good, bro. Thanks, man. I appreciate that, Jay. Self-care is not selfish. Ooh, I like that. That's a t-shirt. Who said that? That's Angela. Self-care is not selfish. If Angela don't have that as a t-shirt by Tuesday morning, I'm going to be mad about that. Wow. Somebody put a thumbs up in the chat for that. I like that. That's a t-shirt, y'all. Because some people think self-care is also it's kind of what she said. And a lot of y'all that are mothers, y'all get guilty about that. Take care of yourself, man. I know y'all got kids. And if you're in Orlando, Shannon, I'll babysit. Go spend some time with your spouse or go take care of yourself. I'm telling y'all, man, having great health is one of our greatest assets, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why I went there, but Joanne, I think God used you and I right there to speak that into somebody. You got to take care of yourself. Back to the presentation, because I got to get y'all out of here. This room goes till about, 11:30? I think I'm over. No, I'm good. It's 11:17. I'm doing good. Okay, so somebody says, well, Derek, where can I serve? Derek, where can I do this at? Your choice. You can do it in all 50 states because Jess, my assistant, is just all over the place with everybody calling. We work all 50 states, essentially. 29 of them for sure. But Jess's main job right now, we're rehabbing a house, and I got 3 beds in Orlando. I think I got 3 in Kissimmee now. Jess got to help me fill my beds too. And guys, just in case y'all want to know where I was, 34741 zip code, 34746 zip code, 32808 zip code. You can use those zip codes and help me fill my beds. I dare any of you all. Watch this. Here's a dare. I dare anybody in this room right now to go do research on those areas that I just told you and help fill my beds and come back here and brag on it live on YouTube. Who want to do that? Who want to fill a bed, take somebody from homeless to hopeful, a guy that would be sleeping on the street without your help, our housing? I don't care where you live at. Use the zip code. I'm going to give you a couple of them. 32818. There's the Orlando zip code that I just put in the chat. In fact, that's the same zip code of where my new house is that we're renovating. I dare anybody in this room to use that zip code and type in the word mental health hospital in your phone in Google or in your maps. Type in the word homelessness, type in the word social services. I dare you to build a relationship with some social worker or some case manager, and you tell them that you have housing. Because you know me now, all of the houses that you see on this screen now, they're yours. You can refer into all of these houses right here because you just met me today. Congratulations. I told y'all, by the time y'all meet me, we family. This is what it looked like in the inside. So if you just joined us, Derek, you didn't show me a picture yet of what it looked like in the inside. This is what it looks like. I'll give another one. That's Orlando. Here's Kissimmee. 34746. That's where my mansion is. That large house, that's that zip code. I dare you to build a relationship with the hospital, with the social services, with the Salvation Army, with the discharge planner, and you tell them that you have housing in Orlando and Kissimmee for independent adults that can take their own meds, that can provide their own transportation, and they can cook their own ham sandwich. Because if they can do all of that stuff, that means they're independent to us. And we can refer them to something that looks just like what you're looking like on this screen. I dare anybody to do that. And I'll be the first one to send you $300 and tell you thank you. And then I'm going to still tell you, hey, I got 3 more beds available. Keep them coming. Does that sound hard to anybody? Because if it does, I'll just be honest, because I always give the disclaimer. This model doesn't work for people that are afraid to talk to people, people that don't like building relationships. And guys, that's not a bad thing. That just means you're not a people's person. So I'm going to tell you right now in my soft, gentle voice, if you're afraid to talk to people, to introduce yourself or your service, you're probably not going to be good at this. But this is also why I decided to put the dadgum virtual assistant as a part of it, because I knew one day that all of y'all or most of y'all would need a Jess. Because you don't have time, because you got a job, you got kids, you got a spouse, you got a second business. But some of y'all are also afraid to get on that phone to talk to people. Now, if you haven't noticed it, or if you're new to us, guys, I stutter. Sometimes I stutter real bad. So if I'm excited, or if I'm nervous, or overly excited again, or if I'm not sure of myself, and sometimes y'all, it come out bad. Some of y'all saying right now, wow, he stutters. I haven't caught it yet. Hang around long enough, you'll get it. But some of y'all are so afraid to get on the phone to even advertise it. That's why I give you the virtual assistant. Remember, guys, our VAs at VA 101 are $697 for one VA, or for 2 VAs is $997. But with the HRA business in a box, guys, I give you the virtual assistant. And remember, if you just heard me, it's on scholarship for $997. So think about that price. So what you're paying for is the ebook, the course, the curriculum, but you're also paying for that private VIP community. And then every Saturday is your group coaching. So you still get me live, even though that's a course and it's a product and you don't get me per se. But every Saturday is why we dedicated this room to teach the people that buy the HRA, and you still want me live. Guys, like Qatar said, this is a no-brainer. Because the ILF Mastery Blueprint people, I'm in your back pocket. I'm live every day if you need to call me. The HRA course, it's a course because it's all self-explanatory. I give you a staff. I give you the SOPs, the standard operating procedures. You guys can literally buy the HRA business in a box today. Never talk to me again. Never come here on Saturday again. Never tune into YouTube again. And all the SOPs are still there. You can still run a fully running business if you never spoke to us again, because we give you the SOPs. I give you your own staff, $5 an hour for 10, 15, 30 years if you want that staff. Guys, that's why I say the HRA business in a box, for most of you all that want to house people and God told you to house people, this is your stepping stone to getting in it. It's hard to do what this is if you don't have the house. That's why I was so excited when God unveiled the HRA to us, because again, the HRA, it just simply removes the excuse that you can't get into this because you can't buy a house or rent one. With the HRA, guys, you can do it, and you never need the real estate. You only need the relationship. And then if you're real smart and you get the VA, that's the icing on the cake. But if you like one of my ladies, she's in her 70s, right? She says, Derek, I'm retired. I have nothing to do, and I don't know about this VA thing just yet. So now that she's gotten started, she loves it, and she doesn't want the VA. She's actually going to gift that VA to somebody else. She says, Derek, I'm bored. And Derek, I love to talk. I love to run my mouth. In fact, she said, Derek, I saw you on YouTube and you talk just like me. You run your mouth just like me, 100 miles a minute. She said, Derek, I love people. I love talking to people. So you telling me just to call social workers and just tell them that I provide housing, and then call somebody else who got the housing? I said, yes, ma'am. She loves it. Can you guys imagine making $300 to $900 a week just by referring people away? I got two women in their 70s, guys, and this is what they do. One of them uses a VA because she loves that. But others is, Derek, I'm retired. I got nothing to do, Derek, and I love to talk to people. And Derek, you told me that I could just call people and say, I'm a housing solution. I'm a housing provider. And then when they call me, I tell them, no problem. Hold on. I'll call you back in 30 minutes. Then I call the people that have the house, hook it up, and then I'm out of it. But if the guy moves in, I make a fee. Guys, this is a no-brainer, guys. Remember, this is like being a broker. Guys, I'm also a real estate broker. You know the difference between kind of what I just said? Watch this. I'm also a real estate broker, which means that I can loan people anywhere from $50,000 to $50 million on real estate. Does that mean I have $50 million? Absolutely not. I don't. But in the name of Jesus, one day I will. But right now, today, guys, I don't have $50 million. But because I'm a real estate broker, I work with hedge funds and big companies that have the money. They allow me to broker it, use it so that so-and-so can get a loan. They pay the company back. I make a broker fee. So all I did was introduce the bank to the guy that want to buy the house. The bank pays the 80%. He brought the 20%, but I also made a referral fee. That's the same thing, ladies and gentlemen. But with this one, we're dealing with lives. You're being a broker of people. I like that. Wow, that sounds good. Guys, we're changing lives through real estate and being a broker of people. I'm just being a liaison. Case manager calls me for the need. I call Tiffany for the housing because Tiffany has the house. I don't have a house. Social worker calls me for the housing. I call Dornico, who has the housing. See what I mean, guys? So again, if you don't know nobody in your city that does this, you should be going where the people already have the real estate. I just told you I have beds in Orlando and Kissimmee. Why wouldn't you be calling Jess on Monday morning? Jess' phone number is 407-813-2640. You guys should be calling Jess Monday morning and say, Jess, man, I did what Derek told me to do. And this social worker called me with 3 people. Now, Jess, I don't really know what I'm doing, but Jess, Derek said that if I get the people, just give them to you. So, Jess, you know what to do. But, Jess, if any of these people move in, please send me my money. That's what you should be telling Jess. Exactly. Because as the HRA, you don't have to know the whole game of housing people like the ILF Mastery Blueprint members do. Because remember, you're just making a referral. Once you make a referral, you done. When you give that client to Tiffany, Tiffany's got to house that guy for 3 years now, 2 years now, 8 months now. But when you refer and Tiffany pay you, you done. You're looking for the next client, the next need. And that's why my older ladies like the HRA too. Because they're saying, Derek, you found a way for me to get into this and I don't even need to buy property. This is genius. Hey, what's going on, family? I hope you guys are enjoying the content. But just in case if you arrived just a little bit after we started, we're literally discussing the HRA, which stands for Housing Referral Agency. There's a lot of people that want to get into what we do when it comes to housing the homeless, but they're not ready to buy a property or rent or lease one just yet. But with the HRA, it's going to allow you guys to still house the homeless, make an impact in your community, and make an income, and you don't need the property. The HRA is all about relationship. So literally, guys, prime example, even me, I have 5 beds available in Kissimmee, and I have 4 beds available in Orlando right now. You guys can begin to referring clients to me immediately, literally after learning this information. Let's get back to the show. In that commercial. So guys, even with me, those numbers now today are a little off. When I shot that, it was the 5 and I think 4, but now it's going down a little bit. But again, you guys can house people with me as soon as Monday. So I'm going to start answering some questions now. I probably got about 15 questions that I've never seen. So I'm going to pull them up one at a time. I'll probably mix up coming from the bottom and the top. But this question is from Miss Rita. This one says, do you do your own assessment or like the HRA to ask some questions prior to sending to you at everyone with beds available? So I'm gonna answer this the best way I think that I know that I think how she's asking it. Let me read it again just to make sure. Do you do your own assessments or like the HRA to ask some questions prior to sending it to you? So if I'm being an HRA, I'm doing more of a shorter assessment, reader, not that long assessment that I gave you and Ken, because you guys are going to be ILF Mastery Blueprint members, right? So when you start housing people yourself, you're going to ask a lot more questions than the HRA person. And I'm glad you asked that because this is going to be a good example for somebody that may be missing it. As the HRA guys, you're getting general information. Prime example. Watch this. Hello. Hi, Mr. Social Worker. How you doing? Great. Social worker says that they have a 52-year-old male being discharged tomorrow. Reader, when that phone call comes like that, you're going to say all of your stuff. You're going to do your, say, ma'am, great. You're going to ask your questions. Well, actually, you know what? I'll slow it up. I want to bring it back. Here's the phone call coming from the hospital. Reader, you're answering this, and you took the ILF Mastery Blueprint. You don't have a house, but Derek said you can HRA until you get one. Here's the incoming call from that social worker. Hey, what's going on, Miss Rita? Great. I saw your information online. It's called Cozy Comforts. You guys are housing people, and I got 3 guys that need housing by tomorrow. Can you help? Rita, you're gonna ask some general questions. First of all, man, thank you so much for calling us and giving us an opportunity. Can I ask you some questions about these clients? So what you're going to do, Ms. Rita, you're going to ask questions to the case manager, name, date of birth, age, again, just to make sure you got that right, diagnosis, mental health, what medications are they on, what date of discharge, how much is the monthly income. That's pretty much it. I don't want you HRA people to get too deep into it. Somebody's thinking that y'all got to ask 1,000 questions and make a decision. You don't. That's what make y'all job so easy. But when you get real good at it, like Janine, you're going to do a thorough assessment before you call maybe somebody like me. Because if you say, man, you know what? Derek only like old people. And Derek don't want the 26-year-old guy. Derek like the 66-year-old guy. Derek wants them to be medication compliant. Derek likes them to be cool and calm. Derek also loves military veterans. See how Janine realized and know, and she know what I like and what we want. As a good HRA, when you're building a relationship with that provider, with Miss Tiffany or Katara or Miss Angela, you need to know what they accept. This brand new house that we're rehabbing right now, Shay is accepting elderly women. So if you get an elderly woman, one of your responses should be to Shay. Say, hey, Shay, just got a call from a lady named Miss Dondra Goodriff. She's 68 years old. Miss Shay, just how you like them. Her medications are this. She came into the hospital on this day. Her monthly income is this much. And she told me a little bit about her family, but not quite sure. But you talk to her, do your assessment, let me know what you think. That's it. Again, guys, you need to get the name, date of birth, mental health diagnosis, monthly income. That's pretty much it. And the better you get with that and finding out how good people are, that's how they're going to trust you, like they're trusting Janine now. A lot of people trust Janine because she know what she's doing. Janine know what you want. Don't call me with the 19-year-old male when I'm telling you I don't do anybody under the age of 30. You will be being a bad HRA person. No different from a wholesaler with real estate. If you're trying to wholesale real estate, and I'm the buyer of real estate, and I tell you that my buy box, meaning what I like, I want 4 bed, 2 bath. Don't send me nothing else. But as a wholesaler, you sent me a 2 bed, 1 bath. You wasted my time. I'm not going to even open your emails anymore. That was a great example. Man, that was good. Somebody give me a thumbs up on that because that was a good example. Again, if you know what Tiffany Walker accepts at her program, why would you call her with the guy that's 26 years old? He has no income and he want to bring his girlfriend. That's not what Tiffany do. And that's why Tiffany also got a virtual assistant to make sure you don't waste her time. So if you call her VA, he gonna say, oh, I'm sorry. This is for independent adults. We don't take women and children and we don't take couples. But by the way, here's a resource for exactly what you need. Call these 2 numbers, sir. So you always still give a resource. A good HRA and we talk about this a lot in that private group, but I'll give y'all a piece of it. A good HRA will always give a referral. So I don't care if a pregnant lady with 3 kids call. No, you can't house her. Tiffany don't house that. Neither does Dornico. Neither do I. In the independent living facility model, we can't house the pregnant lady with the 3 kids. But we don't say, oh, ma'am, I'm sorry. We can't help you. Click. We don't say that. We say, ma'am, I'm so sorry, but the ILF model won't support you and your kids. But I have 2 numbers that I want to give you. One is called the Good Hope Shepherd. Ask for Mr. Chuck. And the other one is called the Salvation Army. Ask for Miss Kendra. Oh, and by the way, here's one more. Here's the local shelter that told us as of yesterday that there's 41 beds available. They also have a program to help you with there as well. Tell them that we sent you. See how we still gave a resource? So as an HRA, you're still going to be a resource, guys, because one day, remember, the prayer is that you get your own house. So if you do the HRA the right way and build all of these relationships, as soon as you get your house, no more referring out when you get the good guy or the good lady. You're going to house them yourself at that point. Does that make sense, everybody? Right? So again, the HRA, guys, is just a stepping stone to where you're going. Right? So if you are trying to one day be an ILF Mastery Blueprint member, your stepping stones to all of this, guys, is literally being the housing referral agency to be able to refer people inside of this, what you see on that screen. Because what you see on the screen now is the call that you'll get from the guy that calls your phone. It says, Miss Rita, I know you guys do the housing, but Miss Rita, I don't want to share no room. Miss Rita, I got PTSD and I don't do too good with like other people in my room. They're okay if they're in the same house, but I want my own room. That's that private accommodation, right? That's that suite. So if you're an HRA, Miss Rita, you need to find out of all of your people that you're referring to, who's got the suites and who's got that shared room. Because in my houses, I got a mixture of both. See these 2 pictures right here? For my ILFs, that could be one house, y'all. One room has got those 3, but the other room has got those 2. But another one could be the guy that says, Derek, I ain't sharing no room, bro. I am 55 years old, Derek. I'm grown, Derek. No problem, sir. Can you afford our private fee? So again, guys, really slowly and really simple. The HRA model, which stands for Housing Referral Agency, simply means that you're going to house people, but you per se, you actually don't need the property yourself. You only need relationship with people that do have the property. Okay. So I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna try to see if I can find a couple more questions. If you guys have more questions, let us know. I got it on a t-shirt already, thanks to my great coaches. Good shot, Angela. She was talking about that comment where I said, put that on a t-shirt. She's already got it on the t-shirt. Angela, put that link in the chat to your t-shirt store as well. Check those shirts out that she has. Angela has a great t-shirt store. But I think her VA helped her build that store. If I'm wrong, she'll tell me. Okay. Mind of Christ and health plans are a cheat code. Absolutely. Let's see. What's another question? And you guys got all kind of comments that I should have read during it, because if I read it now, I'll be lost. Derek throwing gems out and sales. Absolutely. So that scholarship, that's actually not even a sale. So that's just a write out scholarship. So the ILF Mastery Blueprint, um, again, you guys can get that for only $9.97 now instead of the $19.97. And just type that word to that 407, what is it? 407-326-0086. Just type in HRA scholarship. Just let my team know and we'll get that over to you. I'm looking for some more questions. So guys, if you have something and I'm not seeing it, let me know. Just retype it. Yep, Shay says with the HRA business in a box, they get access to the private Telegram community group as well. Absolutely, you do. So that's a big part of that group. Let's see. Love reading the meanings behind your business names. Love that too. Thank y'all for participating on that earlier too. Derek, if we switch to DFS, can you keep the same current business number? I think we figured that out to where you can. I'll double check that with Shay and Danish. But that's a great question because a lot of people don't want to lose that number if you've already been doing business with that number. But I'm going to find that out from my tech team, because don't let me lie to you, Jenny. Because I'm even thinking, Jay, that if it doesn't work, For whatever reason, maybe there's a forwarding number that it can still be forwarded to. Like if a person calls your old number, it'll forward to, or excuse me, if they call the new number for DFS, it'll still work for the old one. But again, don't let me get on that techie stuff now. So I'll ask the team about that. Man, you guys put a lot of stuff in the chat, so just bear with me. Let's see. And also, if you're here and you asked the question and it didn't get answered, just retype it because I can find it real fast if it's fresh. But I'm actually going back through some of the older stuff. A lot of the please, mom, Forston come back. I see a lot of that. Cash asks Donico, how can we link? I can give you my number or email. Love that. A lot of people shouting out mom Forston. Yeah, so let me go to the bottom because I think I see a new one from somebody here. Oh, perfect. Thank you, Shay. Shay says, yes, we are able to port numbers. It takes 2 to 6 weeks. So yes, but it looks like there's some time frame on it. But yes, you can absolutely port that new number. So what you would do, I'd imagine, and if I'm wrong, Shay, tell me, you will keep using that same number, but as soon as that new one's kind of activated, you announce it all over the world and just replace that number to all of your contacts. And you'll probably keep your old number probably for about a week or so, maybe, or a couple of days just to make sure that you're able to port everybody over. I would also do a mass text or email through that same DFS system. So, and Joanne said, yes, I still have my old number. So good stuff. And Joanne actually has DFS. I don't think hers took that long. So good stuff. And Miss Rita, let me know if I answered your question correctly. I want to make sure that I nailed it because if I missed it, you let me know. Somebody asked me how far am I from Cocoa Beach? That was Joanne. Joanne, I think I can get to Cocoa in probably about what, Shay? About what, Shay? 40 minutes, maybe 45 minutes? Because Daytona for us is about an hour. I think I can get to Cocoa a little sooner than Daytona. If I'm wrong, Shay will tell me. That's that private suite right there for the person that asked about that private suite. So that private suite is that single bed and you have your own bathroom. Rita said I nailed it. Good stuff. Thanks, Miss Rita. I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to meeting with you all again very soon as well. And Rita, don't forget you and Ken. When you guys walked through that rehab the other day, it's completely different again. So when you guys go back, you will not recognize even what you saw last time. So don't forget, guys, if you're local to me and if you're an ILF Mastery Blueprint member, remember the tour of the new ILF that's going through renovations and rehab, you guys are able to walk through that. Okay. Especially if you're a brand new ILF Mastery Blueprint member, I want you to walk through it. But Rita and a couple more, you all have seen it, but probably the next time you go, you won't even like recognize it. Like it's crazy. So Chase said, yes, it's about 45 minutes. What is she talking about there? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So Coco, about 45 minutes. Yep. Rita says, I saw the video. So thank you, Rita. Yeah. So guys, if you're tuned in now, make sure you go be nosy on my Derek Forston at Facebook, Derek Forston at TikTok. And I think I put it on Forston Consults. I think the team put it there. But a lot of the rehab, I'm putting a lot of that on my personal page. The team has got a lot of other stuff to put before that. But if you want to go to and see the rehab stuff immediately, go to my personal page for that. So I'm about 13 minutes over. I don't see any other questions. I'm sure I'm probably missing some. So y'all forgive me. Shay usually is way better with helping me find the questions. But essentially, man, if you guys heard the gist of what I talked about and taught today, you guys can house the homeless, the displaced, or anybody that has a job or a guaranteed income. And you can do that in a shared living environment, but you can do it from the standpoint of being an HRA, which stands for, again, guys, a housing referral agency. And you can do that locally or you can do it statewide in all 50 states. And again, because of this great sale or scholarship, if you want to call it, the regular price is only well, actually, the regular price is $4,700. But for a long time, we've had it on kind of, I guess you can say, a sale for $19.97. But now there's a scholarship that's actually going in and got it at $9.97 now. So both of the scholarships for the IMB and the HRA, I'm going to assume we'll do for at least about 6 more months. I want to just give the disclaimer on that. So even the ILF Mastery Blueprint, that's normally 15 grand, but right now it's at 7,500. due to that scholarship. That'll probably last about another 6 months or so. So I want to be a real blessing to people coming into 2023. Excuse me, 24. 2023, guys, was really rough for a lot of people, man, especially financially. So I want to make sure that I was a blessing to people, and I want to do that just past January, like most people do. So we'll probably do that scholarship for, man, at least 6 months or so. So depending on where you are in life, don't forget about, we also offer financing. So if you want or need financing, also use that same text number. You can text the word financing. My team will send you info there. So you can text the word financing to 407-326-0086. And you guys can apply for financing both in-house. If that don't work, we got third-party financing, all of that stuff. So there's easy ways to get into this. And again, guys, make a great decision with your income tax money too, right? Don't spend it on crazy stuff that can't bring a return back to your life. All right, get something that can benefit you and your family. Definitely check out the videos like Miss Rita did. The new house is changing quickly and coming along nicely. Yes, it is, Angela. It's changing really quick. Yesterday, all the baseboards went in and they textured all of the walls yesterday with that spray. I think it's called knockdown or orange peel. I think I'm learning that orange peel is that when you spray it and don't touch it. Knockdown is when you spray it and you texture the wall, but you scrape it lightly and you kind of smear it. That's knockdown. So if I'm wrong, some contractor or rehab guy tell me on here. But as far as I know, orange peel, again, whether you put it on the wall or the ceiling, that's when you spray the texture, but you don't touch it. You just let it dry. But the knockdown is when you gently scrape it. Okay. So again, if I'm wrong about that, y'all will tell me. Um, and I think that's it, man. I'm gonna check one more thing. I appreciate you guys. And as usual, we'll be back on Monday for the people that want to do this as the ILF operators. Okay. Last point that was on this slide was to just build relationships again with ALF owners, ILF owners, housing programs, or people that just simply rent rooms. And we talked about all of that. So this talks about referral or retainer. I charge per referral. There is a way that you can do this on the retainer as well, where people pay you regardless whether you refer or not. So that's another way to make passive income. And we usually talk more about that in the private group. Um, and right here is that original price. So that $19.97, where you get the virtual assistant that's free. You get the standard operating procedures. You get the course, the ebook, the curriculum, and you also get the email scripts and the phone scripts. So when I give you that virtual assistant, what will they say by phone to people? How would they address that social worker? How would they address the case manager? Right? How would they address the homeowner if you want that VA to find you your own house? We give that training, okay, guys? So again, this price is slashed in half, and that can literally only be $9.97 with that scholarship. I want to take this opportunity to look for any more questions, any more concerns, because if we don't, I'll be shutting this room down here in probably about 55 seconds or so. One more commercial and we'll get you guys. Hey, what's going on, family? Just to let you know really quick, everything that you're listening to right now, I actually have it in a more structured way in a webinar. So when you guys get done here, go to forstonconsultants.com, click the tab that says webinars, and there's 2 webinars there. One is for you to be the actual ILF operator, meaning that you want to do it. And then the other one is the HRA. That stands for Housing Referral Agency, where you're able to take people from homeless to hopeful, and you actually don't need the real estate. It stands for Housing Referral Agency, and we call it a business in a box. But definitely go to forstonconsultants.com, watch both of those webinars, then set up a free strategy call with me and my team, and let's see how we can get you started. Back to the show. Hey, what's going on, family? I hope you guys are enjoying the content, but I just want to let you know there's still time to apply for the scholarship for the ILF Mastery Blueprint, and that's our one-on-one coaching. So there's a lot that comes with it. So I'm just going to guide you guys to the website so that you can kind of check it out for yourself after we're done here. So you're going to visit forstonconsultants.com. Then you're going to click the tab that says products and services. The first thing that's going to pop up is the ILF Mastery Blueprint. Click that tab that says learn more, and it's literally going to give you step-by-step instruction of what you can do. And it's real easy of how you can apply and win the scholarship to apply to the price so that you can get our one-on-one coaching here at Forston Consultants. Let's get back to the content. All right, good stuff. So thank y'all so much, man. I super appreciate it. But one more thing, somebody asked me, I showed a video last week of just a few different areas that had homelessness in it. And I was only doing that to kind of prove a point. But somebody asked me to re-show it because they were in that area. I remember one time when I showed one, Katara told me that it was an area of where she was in. But that was, again, just an example of that particular area. But here's that video again. And if you do live near here, just let us know. But here's that video. And again, it was just to show people, why are we needed? Why do we need to be an ILF operator? Why should we consider being the HRA?
One Atlanta city councilman says the city's homeless population seems to have grown and become more aggressive. And he points to what he calls deplorable behavior at the world's busiest airport. Fox 5's Anjali Proctor takes a closer look at the problem and how the city council might handle it.
If you have been in downtown Atlanta near the connector or out at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport lately, you have likely seen that the homeless problem is growing. One Atlanta City Council person says it's time to address it.
What's going on in the airport is horrible. It is deplorable.
Atlanta City Councilman Michael Julian Bond says the world's busiest.
So again, like, who would imagine that homelessness would even start creeping into like the actual airport? So that's crazy. So if you're in Georgia, you're in Atlanta, yes, this exists everywhere, guys. I don't care where you live at, right? Homelessness is everywhere, unless you're in some really, really swanky part of town or city or state. You're in Beverly Hills, you may not find it, right? But in other words, in terms of where you guys live at, just to take a simple drive to your downtown. Just open your eyes now. After being in a room like this, you guys should be looking at the world a little bit different when you're driving downtown, when you're driving to work, from work, on your lunch break. There's homeless people all in your city, and they all could use our help. And a lot of them just simply can't afford their own house or their own apartment. So what if you could refer them to something that was more of a housing referral program, and you did that as an HRA? That would be pretty cool, in my opinion, because again, you're still able to make an impact and an income, and you're still housing people, whether you have the real estate or not.
To a 2022 report, an estimated 359 veterans across our state face homelessness.
Transitions Homeless Shelter is opening a new dorm to help get some of those veterans off the streets. News 19's Becky Buds reports.
2 months ago, Navy veteran Zachariah Shaheed found himself without a place to live before Transitions Homeless Center took him in.
Concrete is not somewhere anyone wants to be.
Shaheed was one of the 359 veterans across South Carolina facing homelessness, according to the latest National Point-in-Time Homeless Report.
I'm just thankful and grateful that I've become one that's not of that statistic now.
A new dorm at Transitions aims to bring that number down in Columbia.
28 more beds, 28 more options. That's going to help put a dent in the problem.
CEO Craig Curry says the program is providing 2 case managers, mental health services, food, addiction services, and more to each veteran. Each veteran will be able to stay for around 3 months.
In the end, you really want to place people into permanent housing, which is the name of the game.
Curry says they've already filled half the beds.
Y'all heard that guy. The name of the game is permanent housing. So as an HRA, why wouldn't you go and hook up with somebody like him? So to answer the question of people that says, well, Derek, where do I go to find the need? You don't think that place has a need? Did you all see the beds in that place? What happens when those beds get filled up? Lucky for Shaheed, there was a bed available when he wanted to get one. But as an HRA, I'm walking right inside of that place and saying, good morning. In other words, who run this place? Now, that's the ghetto way to say it, but you get my point, right? Good morning. May I speak to the director of this facility, please? May I speak to who's in charge of admitting people in here? My name is, and I have a program by the name of. See how that works, Ken? Ken, when you walk in that place and you meet that guy or the lady that's behind the desk, good morning, my name is, and I would like to speak to the person that's in charge of filling these beds, because I have a program by the name of. So all of you that I told you to put your name in the blank or even what you think it would be, that's where you would say that. I have a housing program by the name of Second Chance. And what we do is We take people from homeless to hopeful, and we connect with social service providers like yourself that maybe once you get full here, but you keep getting referrals, we would love to be a connection to you. Because, sir, I'm sure there's criteria to be in this place. So if you get a call for a guy that maybe don't meet the criteria, give us a call. Or, sir, if you guys get full, can you give us a call to see how we can help? Just give me 2 people to say that you understood that. Because somebody gonna say, well, Derek, where do I go? How do I say it? Can I get 2 people to just give either a thumbs up and say, yes, Derek, I get it. That makes sense. Because I never want to explain something to go over somebody's head. That didn't cost me any money to walk into that building. I'm going to walk in that store branded, though. I'm not going to wear my favorite button-up shirt, Ken. Remember what we talked about in your training? Now, today, my shirt says, need a virtual assistant. Now, I got a QR code on the back of this shirt, but I'm not going to this place advertising VAs. So Monday morning, guess what I'm going, Ken? I'm going to Perfect Stitch to pick up the 7 other shirts that I got that are sweaters, hoodies, collared shirts, and blazers. And guess what they all say? Second Chance Housing or Forston Consultants. I'm going to walk right into that place with my branded shirt and say, good morning. My name is Derek, and I have a housing program by the name of, I understand that you guys house veterans here. I also have a housing program. I want to be a part of your Rolodex that when you guys get overflow and you can't take no more people, give us a call. We do exactly what you guys do. I'm also a part of a network, because remember, part of this HRA Business in the Box, I'm going to put you in a network. I'm also part of a network that has tons of housing. So I may not be always able to house your guy myself, but I have a network, Miss Joanne. Joanne's a part of my network. Tiffany's a part of my network. Katara's a part of my network. Rita and Ken is a part of my network. Angela is a part of my network. Joanne is a part of my network. See where I'm going, guys? So I show those videos to give y'all a little bit of insight that, guys, no matter where you live at, it exists. And a lot of these people have a check, as y'all call it, but it's a monthly stipend. It's a Social Security income. And guys, it comes on a debit card. And a lot of people that you're going to run into that need this, they can't get their own apartment. They can't get their own house, but they will rent a shared room or a private room.
Take a drive down Los Angeles' Skid Row, filled with tents, people, and growing frustration.
If I can get back into another residence, then I won't make the same mistakes I made before.
According to new federal data, a record number of people are now unhoused, more than 653,000, a 12% population increase since last year. Mel Tilakaratna runs a nonprofit that provides free showers to people living on the street.
The system is completely overwhelmed.
Tilakaratna points to a rise in housing costs, the opioid epidemic, mental health issues, and the migrant crisis as factors exacerbating the problem in LA.
We have families, asylum seekers to families in LA who become homeless, and prior where we would be able to send them to a motel or a shelter within a couple of days, now there's absolutely no resources.
These issues are also creating friction in major cities.
Did you hear the guy? We normally would send them to hotels or blah, 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 but now there's no resources. They're looking for people like us, y'all, especially you ones that have the property. But the HRA, they need you too, because you're the liaison to get them to the property. So those are the examples that I show people. And I got a few more of those, and I won't bore y'all with it, but you pick the state, I'll find a statistic in it. Send me your state, send me your city, we'll find a video on it. If you don't believe it, we'll show you the need, right? So again, guys, for us, man, this is an absolute no-brainer because again, somebody that's going to go from the street to something like this is exactly where we want to put them at. Because in their mind, they can't imagine living in something like this, especially when we present it as the one-stop shop. So remember, as the HRA, you're going to tell them, hey, bro, the place where I'm sending you to, they pay the lights, they pay the water, they pay the cable, they pay the Wi-Fi, and the security system. So as an HRA, you got to beef it up. You got to talk it up. Talk about how great it is. If you know what my place is like, Janine, tell him. If you know what kind of product Dornico has, tell them. Because one of the things that you should get if you're HRA is a video of what this place looks like, of whoever you're referring to. That's a gem in itself, actually. So I would love if you're doing the HRA, if you don't want to refer to me or Dornico or Tiffany, you don't know none of us. So view it like this. I don't trust Derek. Derek, can you send me pictures of your place? Derek, can you send me a recent video of the inside of your ILF? Because I'm not going to send my good people to your roach-infested place. That's the way that you prove that you also sending your clients to a good place. That's being a good HRA. As being a good housing referral agency, you should know what the environment is like if you've never even seen it or been there yourself in person. Because if I want to refer to Dornico, I'm going to say, Dornico, man, I got about 3 guys that may be a good fit for you. But before I do this referral, Dornico, can you send me a picture of the inside of your place, all bedrooms, and a recent video right now? Oh, in fact, Dornico, just go ahead and just FaceTime me so that I can reassure to my case managers where I'm sending these people to. Okay? Shay telling on y'all too. Shay say, I'm sharing too many secrets. She's being nice. She don't really mean it like that, but I'm giving y'all the game today. A lot of what's in that course, you guys got a lot of that today. Okay? And with the will that's inside of you and the want to, and of course with God's help in this coaching, this is a no-brainer, y'all. Okay? So I am actually over. I do want to make these rooms no more than 2 hours. We've kind of blown that 90-minute thing kind of out of the water. But I do want to try to do a pretty good job of not keeping people too long. This has been about 2 hours. So again, I hope that I completed my goal of giving the game away, but also giving you guys an opportunity to get into it. Again, the HRA Business in the Box, guys, is only $19.97 normally, but right now there's a scholarship for it. That's only $9.97. So I'm going to knock a whole $1,000 off of it. Just text that number, 407-326-0086, and let my team know. So I want that HRA for $9.97. Right? And then my team will make sure that we send you that invoice. Don't go to the website because it will be the $19.97. Let us know by texting that number, and then we'll send you guys an invoice. Other than that, man, I'm going to let you guys go. Y'all be great. And go to the house of worship tomorrow. Make sure you tell God you love him and all his people. And tell God what you saw today. Say, God, I like that thing Derek them talk about housing people and the homeless and the displaced. God, if it's meant for me to be in it, allow it to happen. Make the way easy. Okay? So to me, this is not rocket science. And Angela, you're right. I'm getting ready to close. So without further ado, man, y'all be great. We'll see y'all Monday at 6 p.m. Make sure that you share this room. I would love it if 10 people can share this room to a family member or friend or somebody that loves real estate, or that somebody that God has put it on their heart to do this, but they thought the real estate is what's stopping them. You guys should introduce this to them and also make a referral fee yourself. Because guys, remember, we have an affiliate for everything that we do. So if you introduce this to somebody and it goes through you, we're going to pay you for it. So if I were you, I would share this with a friend, a family member, somebody that loves people in real estate. Share it with your pastor or your bishop, but share it to somebody. If 10 people can do that, that's all you guys owe me today. I will not be passing around my collection plate like the church. But if you guys could just share it, and if I can get 3 people today to give us a nice Google review for the information that we do give out, I would love that. So over at Forston Consultants, go to Google, and I would love if you guys can give us a 5-star Google review. I would really, really appreciate that. And again, that's all you guys owe me. Other than that, we'll see you guys Monday at 6 p.m. Now unto him that is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all we can ever ask or think, according to the power that worketh in us. Father God, thank you so much for the seed that was sown today. Father God, by your grace and by your mercy, and most of all, by your Holy Spirit, bring all of this information back to our remembrance. Father God, bless us indeed. And Father God, before any of these people get their first facility, before they even get their first keys to the door, God, we dedicate the program to you now. We call you the CEO of the business. And God, we thank you for allowing us and them to be the overseer of it. But God, you run it all. You just allow us to be a part of it. So God, thank you for your partnership. Thank you for your guidance. Thank you for your leadership. And God, thank you for making the way easy. Today, God, I ask that you make the way easy for these people. God, I went through enough of junk and enough of trouble and trials getting it started. So Father God, I would love it if you can make the way easy for these people. Because God, if they take this first step, I can promise them that you will take the second one. So, Father God, today I ask that you bless their program. I plead the blood of Jesus over the threshold, over the door that they'll have. Every tenant and client that comes to the door will be blessed because of their program. And God will take no credit for it. We'll give you all the glory, we'll give you all the honor, and we'll give you all the praise. And it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen, amen, and amen. Y'all be great, and we'll see y'all Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern.